sides have their issues with technology. Both sides really use the technology. You get a lot of incoherence, I think, especially with things like social media, where the political frame makes you, if you're a tech journalist, you're kind of already addicted to these tools. You use them all the time. It's a critique of yourself to say, like, let's not use this. So you really want the focus to be like Elon Musk is bad and not also why are we using a global conversation platform? Like maybe that's a bad way for humans to interact. It's like, it's about the people involved. It's about the what's on the platforms. This has always been my my fight since even since my book Digital Minimalism, which is like the people writing about technology think the real problem is like what's on the platforms, where the people who are upset by technology think the real problem is the platform's existence and like how much they're using it. And then psychological is fine, but it's like, it's sterile. And I think it could be very successful, but at the same time, it is kind of like dry and sterile. And it's sort of, everything is just reduced to, we want these lines on graphs of mental health to be better or something like that. So Kingsnorth is coming in and saying, well, what about like the humanist approach? Like just what it means to be a thriving human being. And we want them to be in there. That feels pretty novel. I mean, I'm thinking this through. I mean, that feels pretty novel, even in like the classic big, I mean, I guess the big polemical anti-tech books of the 20th century were like, this is bad for humanity to be like obsessed with technique. But it's not like their goal was necessarily this like richer vision of flourishing as a human. It was just like, this is not a reasonable way to live, or it's serving like the capitalist, but no one else. All right, that's interesting. So you think the AI, now do you think it's true that the AI moment, here's my theory then on the fly, the AI moment is more open to this type of humanist turn because the last big moment, which was the social media moment, was too confused culturally. That it was, the problem was this technology was also supposed to be for a while like the savior of culture and like the tool for, you know, overturning dictatorships and new activism and expression, and like it was like coded with all these other things and it was really confusing. And then then Mark Zuckerberg wasn't mean enough to Trump, and now like, well, maybe these technologies are bad, or maybe they're just doing them wrong. We need our own versions. Like I think social media really should have been that moment, but it was too confusing culturally. But AI, like who's really on? I mean, some reporters are excited about it, but like it's not. No one is looking at this and saying, I don't know. It's coded differently. It feels like it's coming out of nowhere. The use cases are murky, and everyone is like, ugh. Like not but like like a little bit uneasy, kind of shrugging their shoulders. So. I don't know. It's just let me throw this back to you. I'm just rambling here. AI, this turn, we're ready for a more humanist approach. Like what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, so I think it's important to think about, because I think this relates to the return of the humanistic question that you're bringing up, right? I think it's important to think about like, what is the basic financial model of social media versus like, what is the basic financial model and set of presuppositions that underline AI? The basic model of social media, right, is that we're going to convince you that you need an algorithmic layer to mediate your human relationships, right? Facebook, you need this algorithm in between you and your friends, right? It's going to help optimize your friendships, keep you in touch. I mean, I think you see this even more acutely with Tinder and like dating websites, right? Like, which have totally remade human courtship such that people don't even feel like they can date outside of the apps, right? We need this algorithmic intermediary that is going to help me make human connections, right? That's the whole business model. And so much of social media and so much of like tech in general in the 2000s, 2010s is about like, okay, where are some places where we can insert, like what are some industries, what are some dynamics where we can insert an algorithmic intermediary between people, right? I mean, Uber, it's the same thing. You don't hail your own cab anymore. You have this algorithmic intermediary. Yeah. What is novel about AI, right? The chain for social media, if you think about it like a chain, is human, algorithm, human, right? What AI is aspiring to do very clearly, right? Like what it's actually aspiring to do as opposed to what the companies say, right? Like Sam Altman will say, we're going to get this digital paradise of milk and honey, and it's going to remake our economy, and we're all going to have universal basic income, and the robots are going to do all the work and blah, blah, blah. But if you actually look at like the use cases that are taking off right now, they are all predicated on creating algorithmic substitutes for human relationships. So no longer human, algorithm, human, just you and the algorithm and no human on the other side. You see this with the rise of AI therapists, right? Therapy is very expensive, but if you don't have good insurance, why don't you try a chatbot therapist, right? The rise of AI companions, AI sex bots, AI romantic companions. It's the same thing, right? Why go through the process of Tinder and trying to find another human being when you can just have this relationship directly with the algorithm? I mean, same thing with even senior citizen care, right? There are now these companies that are trying to like do do senior care with, oh, seniors are lonely. Maybe their family lives across the country. Actually, talking with a chatbot can really help alleviate some of that loneliness. So I think one of the reasons there's been such a humanistic backlash to AI is I think under the social media model, there was still this sense that like, oh, they're trying to foster human connection and this algorithm is helping optimize that. And now that pretense, and that was always a lie, but that pretense is now totally gone. And I think a lot of people can see what the game is now, where they're like, oh, okay, so like there are all these people who have like AI boyfriends now. That I see what's going on here, you know. And so I think that's part of it. I just think AI is touching these fundamental parts of human life in a way that social media did, but in a more oblique way, and that was harder to interpret and read, and where it was possible to at least initially read more charitably, you know. And that's just not possible here, I think, for a lot of people at least.